Welcome back to Disco Elysium, where we have a lot of stuff to look at and talk about. And I think this episode, I'm just going to go look at the ledger in my inventory. It's gone. I could have sworn he gave it back to me. It's a tool now, the Ledger of Failure and Hatred. Does that mean I can equip it? Oh, that's cool. Well, I want the beer still in my hand. Wait, where's the beer? No, where's the beer? Oh, okay, it's the tool. Let's hold beer in one hand, Ledger of Failure and Hatred in another. And I'm going to just take a quick look at my journal first, and then we're going to dive deep into this ledger and see what there is, because I skipped a whole lot last time and still took like 15 minutes reading it. So the next thing that we unlocked is the task, Who Put the Clothes in the Trash? Only the whirling staff was supposed to have the key. We can ask Kuno and ask Gart. That is definitely not a priority. And then we also have these white checks. I can talk to Kim, and we can go back to Measurehead and conceptualize something, but I don't see the need to go back to Measurehead because we bested him in our physical confrontation. Okay, the last thing is a thought. And White Morning. All right. This is the very first thought I've looked at. Bonuses from thought, 0. There you go. Okay, White Morning we got while reading the ledger. Temporary research bonus, -1 authority. I see. So when we research this, we have -1 authority. And then after 5 hours, I'm guessing we get a good thing happen to us. We'll find out. You see yourself from above. You're passed out on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves! The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Okay, so I kind of get the feel for what this means. We are passed out, and the alcohol and the music, dancing, disco, whatever, is comforting us. Or actually, maybe the great white object that lets out its sweet smell that we've forgotten the name of seems to be a good thing. Anyways, let's internalize that. Now we have -1 authority while we are internalizing it, 0%, and I don't get to see what the solution is until after we think about it. After we're done thinking about it, are we going to know what that white object is? Is that... Oh, well, anyways, I won't stop. We'll continue there. We'll go back to our ledger and interact with it.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Urinal cleaner. I would say urinal cleaner. But I guess they say things differently in Revachol. Now let's see. Let's smell that urinal cleaner again.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
I don't really understand how toilet cleaner really gets into the trash. Maybe we threw it in the toilet first.
You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axle, or something. At some point in its journey, the ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet.
Which toilet would that be?
Remember when I said the smell of the upstairs bathroom was so rank they should have sent a poet to describe it?
Okay, so we put it in the upstairs bathroom toilet, and then someone else threw it away, and then we threw it away? That's weird. Is sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner a line this poet might have used?
Why, yes it is. Among many other things. This cleaning tablet is used by the whirling in rags. Perhaps that's where the ledger was dropped in the toilet. By you.
Why, yes, it is. Okay. And now let's inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
We have very tactile intelligence, I would say. Let's run our finger across the aluminum, see what we can sense.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Seriously, with my perception?
Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
Hey, Lieutenant, what is this?
What? That thing. It's a Halogen Watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example?
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
Sounds interesting. So we're right by the vehicle. Can we do that?
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay.
He returns to his neatly kept notes. Yes, we both have very neatly kept notes, don't we?
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's
Yeah.
a sorry sight.
I said we both have neatly kept notes. Let's put the ledger away, see if we can start the car up.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
I'll wait for you to turn. I think I just press engine start now, huh?
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Kinema comes to life with a whiny growl.
A clarion call from hell!
Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time.
I'm so glad my character has perception. Press that button labeled headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
Let's do it! I'm so excited, I'm gonna run!
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Let's look at the shimmering street grid first.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kinema's headlights.
Wait, look around me.
A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child somewhere shrieks. A woman reprimands her in a voice no quieter than the child's cry. In the middle of a broken plaza, in a cone of light, barely visible in the daytime, two men, one slim, the other sturdy. They are on the city stage, but only one of them knows his lines.
It does feel like Kim knows his lines and I don't.
Ah, Martinez.
He smells the air and says, "Where are we on this?"
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
He says, his finger near the top of the map on a segment of coast jutting out into the great ocean. Let's see. I'm still not letting on to Kim. I haven't hit rock bottom yet, guys. I know the end of last episode seemed like I hit rock bottom, but my character's still got some internal fortitude, or should I say, what's that medicine called that increases my morale? Whatever it is. Oh, magnesium. He's still got plenty of magnesium. It hasn't hit rock bottom yet. I know exactly what this place is, and I'm sure I've seen worse.
Oh, yes. Coal City. Le Royaume. The burnt-out quarter.
Yes, those all have meaning to me. I agree, Kim.
All of them worse than here.
Exactly. Now let's look at the perforations. I can't imagine those are interesting, but we'll find out.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
I guess we can tally up the different rows. This seems like a lot of math for my stupid character.
The first row has 18 dots.
Not bad.
Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet.
What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
I guess we can't count by tens. Let's count them individually.
There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200.
I love the meta knowledge that if I was better at logic, visual calculus, maybe conceptualization, if I was better at those things, I would be able to count to 200. What about the last row?
The last row has 3 perforations.
Just 3, huh?
As you look at them, you feel your index finger reflexively contract 3 times.
Seems like something I've done before.
And something you'll do again before this is all over.
I guess we have no choice but to ask Kim what he thinks these holes mean.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
We got 18, 200, and 3.
Son, here is where we score your life performance. You better hope it's good.
You better hope it's good. Physical instrument seems to be like my dad. My dad's voice in my head talking to me.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time.
Maybe you were a diplomat. Or in PR. Doesn't matter, I suppose. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see...
Wow.
Wow, more than 200.
I would have thought there'd be more.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
Used to be good. That's some solace, I guess. What's the last number? 3.
You know the answer already. The tingle in your index finger gave it away.
Those are my confirmed kills. 3 of them.
That's right. How did you know?
Just feel like a killer.
That's right. A killer of humans.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame.
Hey now!
In a good way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. I was imagining my character could be one of those officers, but perhaps not.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
Thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
presses a remote control on the key.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
Wow, do we have the option to kill people in this game? What kind of statistics do we have? Huh. A sorry cop, a boring cop, a fascist, an ultra-liberal. I don't remember this at all. Huh. Name unknown. I know my name. Alright, I wasn't done. Let's see, do I want to level up? I'm not going to level up right now. I'm going to go back into the book. This is going to be an episode where I just read the Ledger of Failure and Hatred, like I said.
It's the ledger you found in the trash, a cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
So we inspected the clip, we smelled it, we browsed the case files and the forms, and we slid the hidden drawer open. We did everything, but I skipped through it like crazy. So I'm going to browse the case files again.
Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 5th.
Let's inspect the handwriting.
It's inornate, nearly illegible, yet marching in orderly lines.
That kind of sounds like my handwriting in real life.
Written in a rush, in pain, a race to beat your own heart's pulse to some dark finish line.
A race to beat your own heart's pulse to some dark finish line. Interesting. And that came from pain threshold. That was physical pain, right? Huh.
Your hand cramps up merely looking at the scribbles, drawn, as by some magnet, to the red checkered margins. Fast, but always straight.
Who is this person?
Wearing out, nearly gone. Sometimes he forgets to keep the pen on the paper as he moves his hand, and the lines vanish from underneath.
And there was mention of a naming convention? Why would I say that? I don't see any mention of naming convention. I guess earlier there was.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
Well, that sounds intriguing. So these are open investigations, perhaps, or maybe closed investigations?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout.
The rare article-free. Yeah, everyone starts with a the or an a, huh? Except collapsing tenement. Yeah, why isn't that one the collapsing tenement? I just was feeling article-free that day, I suppose.
You like this grimy murdering, don't you?
It wasn't me, I only did it 3 times.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, all my cases employ a naming convention similar to what we used on ours.
Yes, how very childish of you. In your and my defense, almost everyone in the RCM uses the titular system, in addition to the official alphanumeric.
Why do you think that is?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
Indeed. I seem to have named a case The Square Bullet Hole Murders. The Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one The Man with the Hole in His Head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
Very amusing, Kim.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
Indeed. It's all we can do. Let's pray no one finds out how callous we are. What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Okay. I'm done inspecting these, I suppose.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Yeah, I was thinking I would be able to read the case files. So, can I read the case files now?
It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to patch the quilt back together. Try again later.
That's not the right voiceover. It's possible, yes. Easy, no. You need to come up with a small archaeological system to reorder the remains of your past works. At the moment, all they do is fall apart in your hands. Some dates and the numeric titular system is all you have. Titular? Whatever. Okay, so now it's locked until we get some logic. I actually am going to put some points into logic, and we're just going to try that again. Why not? Yeah, it works. Can I read the case files now? Oh, it's still locked? Let's slide the hidden drawer open and then
Without
come back.
resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. Inside, you see 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard.
Well, I remember what happened last time I looked at these. Fucking kill yourself, you
The
asshole.
words just crossed your mind somehow. You see 2 ticket stubs and a handmade card.
Let's just close that compartment.
It's slightly, ever so slightly, difficult to breathe once you've done so. The drawer is locked. Blue ink drips from the white pages in your hand.
Huh.
Your hand shakes. You're flushed with adrenaline.
Can I read the case files now? There we go.
Yes, at last. You find a way to piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. HDB 41, date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
The date of initialization seems to be 1201? December... sorry. Sorry, my friends across the sea. January 12th. The Next World Mural. Okay, so HDB 41. Weren't those Officer Precinct?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
HDB? It's not my name.
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
I think what you meant to say was RAC, Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau.
No, the alphanumeric begins with HDB.
Good, that is what you said. How long does it take to read one of these Raphael stamped cases?
Fine, it takes about half an hour for you to piece one together. Mr. Raphael, which one do you want?
Ooh. I guess we'll start from the beginning. This might be a two-parter of an episode, huh? The Next World Mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne.
Okay.
The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads,
And this is the graffito. So, an illegal mural, perhaps.
"True love is possible only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class."
On the middle class? Come on. The upper class. Wreak havoc on the upper class. What's wrong with you?
People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case.
The bummer.
The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Yeah, I mean, my player gut, is that the rich commissioned that to get the poor and the middle class at odds, forgetting about that upper class. Do I ever find out who came up with it?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
What's plebiscite mean? Ah, it's a vote. Interesting.
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villalobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Remove the mural, it's wrong.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us.
Huh. I must have voted to remove that thing because I don't believe in that rubbish for one bit. That was terrible reading. Oh well.
No one cares what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
Let's just go on to the unsolvable case. That actually sounds like the most interesting one of all, doesn't it?
AKA Leslie and Burke. AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
It sounds like a pretty boring case. Public indecency drunk and property damage drunk.
You were so drunk, you didn't remember what it was when you signed on. That, or you were high.
All right, we've been like this for a while, eh?
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man. And you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration.
Okay, that's why it's unsolvable. It's not that we don't know exactly what's going on, but that we can't fix the problem.
The only way for Leslie to stop displaying his genitals and for Burke to stop attacking things would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability.
Couldn't we just keep them off the streets, right? If they stay in their house, they won't be breaking the law like that.
You would think that, but you're wrong. Where's the fun in exposing your genitals or breaking stuff in your own home?
That's a good
No,
point.
Leslie and Burke are on the corner of Main Street and Perdition because that's where the action is.
Proceed.
Threatening, fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemiaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder.
Come on.
You tried it all. And still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years.
Zemyakis, come on.
It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of Perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Public indecency. I've been paying attention.
Good. You're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger.
Good thing my hand-eye coordination is so quick that I snatch it out of the way.
He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Sounds about right.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke.
Right, that compartment had our special things that sent us into a panic attack or something.
Kill them. They broke it.
And I'm in a fit of rage now.
He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore.
Wow.
Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
Hey!
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end.
If it works, it works!
Does that sound like a Raphael something Costeau to you, sir?
One last time, yes! Exactly like what Raphael Ambrosius Costeau would do.
Fine then, you've earned it.
Fucking. Hey, we earned it! Does that mean we are Detective Costeau? Excellent. Okay, well, I gotta check. We're 43%. Oh, man, it's already been like 2 hours or so, huh? Should I stop and read this Detective Costeau? This sounds way more interesting. Yeah, I think actually, let's stop that. See if we can switch over. We can switch over. That's cool. So conceptualization has gone down by a lot. Oh, but let's see what the problem is here. An idiotic idea. Detective Raphael Ambrosius Costeau. When you say it, it feels like you're taking a bite of lemon meringue while sitting on the terrace of a seaside cafe. On a cool summer day in Sur-la-Claye. It's everything you're not. You haven't created many things during your stay in Martinez, but you've created this, a fancy, sophisticated name that makes you sound intelligent, and that no one seems to acknowledge. Don't you feel like you deserve a reward for coming up with something so special? And what would that reward be? I'm so excited to find out what the reward's gonna be. Well, okay. Back to reading the ledger, right? Or should we revisit it? Maybe I revisit it. That's actually a great ending point. We're going through that thought. We can revisit this.
Changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
It didn't even occur to me that I might have to pass another logic check or something. Ooh, should I browse the forms again real quick?
See-through copy of paper, mostly neon yellow. some bright red, all covered in boxes like marching armies. These are your official forms, easy enough to make sense of.
Yeah, I think these are easy enough to make sense of. Let me just click on field autopsy one more time, see if there was something else to do. Because, I mean, that could come in handy with the field autopsy we're about to do, right?
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters.
All right, sorry, I've read this.
Color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual organs.
Oh, perfect. And this song, I know how to play on piano. So I'll jam to it at the end here. And we'll call it a day. And then, yeah, I will take a break reading the case files. I kind of thought I was just going to read on and on and on and on and on. But I really want to before the end of the day. It's already 3 o'clock. 3:13, 15:13, whatever. Before the day ends, I really need to go open the door for the union leader like I said I would, and then we can go talk to him about the case. And, yeah. So how to do that? I go to the northwest. So we'll do that next time. Enjoy the music, and I'll see you guys next time.